you ever stop to think that everything we build has to have a frame? Well, it's a fact. And that's why we'd like you to meet our good friend, Mr. Strut.
Hiya, folks.
He's a mighty busy fellow these days.
Yes, sir.
Because, you see, he works with and represents the world's most flexible, all-purpose metal framing system, Unistrut.
At your service.
Thank you, Mr. Strut. Would you mind if we take a little closer look at your work? You see, folks, the basic components of the Unistrut system are simple, yet wonderfully effective. First, there's the Unistrut channel. Second, the Unistrut nut and bolt. Third, the Unistrut fitting. The Unistrut channel is open on the one side in the form of a continuous slot that has in-turned pyramid-shaped edges to provide a grip for the clamping nut. This cyanide-hardened nut has rounded edges so that when the nut has been inserted in the channel, it can be easily turned into position. The steel spring presses against the bottom of the channel, forcing the nut into position against the inturned edges. Thus, the spring acts as a third hand, constantly holding the nut in place, ready to receive whatever fitting is to be used and the securing bolt. Large chamfers on the threaded hole make it very easy to start the bolt. Now, as the bolt is tightened, the hardened teeth in the grooves of the nut bite into the relatively soft steel of the channel edge to positively lock the nut to the channel so that it cannot possibly slip. Also, the pyramid shape of the inturned edges and of the groove in the nut provide additional bearing surface when the nut is tightened. Thus, both sides of the slotted channel are locked together to form a complete box section. This provides maximum strengthening of the channel at every point of connection. It cannot spread or collapse when the bolt and nut have been tightened. It's this locking action which holds sidewalls in the original position. The Unistrut framing system eliminates the need for exact location and drilling of holes. At the point where the next framing member is to be attached, the nut is easily inserted and turned into place. The spring holds it snugly in place like a third hand, while the fitting and bolt are added. The serrated grooves of the nut grip the pyramid-shaped edges of the channel, automatically centering the nut as pressure is applied to the bolt. Tension is set up on the fitting, which then acts as a lock washer to hold the nut firmly in place. Note that the metal of the channel is a different gauge than the fitting. More than a quarter century's experience has gone into developing a completely integrated system where all parts are balanced to each other and are interchangeable. Another Unistrut channel is easily and quickly attached to the fitting in the same manner. Connection is strengthened as the nut, bolt, and fitting close the channel opening, creating a true box section. These two channels are now locked into a single permanent unit, but they can be quickly released and reassembled if necessary. Yet the only on-the-job tools needed are a saw to cut the channel to length and a wrench to tighten the bolt. Not a single hole has to be bored. In fact, Unistrut channel has a pocket full of holes. Just cut it to length, slip in the spring-held nut at any desired point in the channel, and with a twist of the wrist, the job is done. Unistrut channel and parts are easy to order. These catalogs and bulletins are available free on request, and you'll find them arranged for ready reference. Illustrations and explanatory notes will aid you in identifying the Unistrut components, and you'll find full information about any problem that may come up. With the catalogs and this slide rule type load selector, you can quickly and accurately determine permissible loads, and you'll find that any conceivable problem in framing construction, including the new dramatic conception of space frames, can be solved quickly and economically with the Unistrut system of metal framing. With Unistrut and your imagination, you can build almost anything. The sky's the limit.
That's the simple truth, folks. Millions of feet are being used all the time, all over the world, saving people time and money. Sure keeps me busy. Well, so long. I'll be seeing you. And don't forget, the sky's the limit when you build with Unistrut.
Yes, sir. Mr. Strut's right. There's just no limit to the jobs he can do. Stop and think a minute right now. How can Unistrut serve you?